Hey sweeties, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing great. Come with me guys, let's make this beautiful kaftan dress. I made this beautiful outfit with just 2 yards of Duchess fabric by 60 length. Let's go ahead and take our measurements. So this is my fabric guys. I folded it twice and that gave me 4 layers. You know, when you fold the first one, you now fold it again. So what you have is 4 layers, and I folded it this way because I'll be cutting both the front and the back part at the same time. So let's go ahead and take our neck depth measurement, which is 1 inch. So after that, I will take my neck width, which is 3 inches. Can you see that right there? So the next measurement I will take is 12.5 inches. This 12.5 inches is where I'll be taking my bust measurements, and it's going to be serving as my sleeve width. So after that, the next measurements will be my half length. From my shoulder to my half length is 16.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect the neck width and the neck depth. Remember, this particular 1 inch is for the back neckline. So I'll go ahead and take the length of my sleeve. That's from the center of my back neck to where my sleeve would stop. I have 18 inches. So on that 18 inches, I came down by 1.5 inches. And this 1.5 inches is going to serve as my shoulder slope. Remember, I said 18 inches, not 8 inches. That was a mistake. So I will now connect it to the 3 inches neck width. So from that 1.5, I will now measure another 11 inches. So this 11 inches, I will now connect it to that 12 inches. 12.5 inches, I said, will serve as my bust line and also my sleeve width. Can you see? So I will now join the line together. So I will rule all the lines across. So after that, I will go ahead and take my hip line. Can you see that? That's my hip line from my shoulder to where my hip line fall. So I will now draw a line across. So on that 12.5 inches, I will now take my bust measurement divided by 4. So I added 4.5 inches to it. So whatever, if you're sewing your own, whatever your bust divided by 4 is, then you can add 4 inches, 4.5 inches to it. So I'll go ahead and take my round waist divided by 4. I added the same 4.5 inches to it. Can you see? So after that, I will now go to my hip line. I will take my hip circumference, my round hip divided by 4 also. Then I will add 4.5 inches for both sewing allowance and for the freeness of my dress. It's not a tight dress. Remember, it's a kaftan dress. So from that, my sleeve width line, I will now curve it. Can you see what I'm doing? So I will curve it, then I will connect it to my hip and my round waist, and I will go to the down part of the dress. The down part of this dress is the 60 inches. That's the length of the gown, is 60 inches. That is the total length of the material. Remember, the material is by 60. So I will take whatever I have around, not my hip, what I have on my round waist. That's what I took on the down part of my dress. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. Remember, I'm cutting the back and the front together. Can you see that? Can you see what it look like? So I'll cut out the neckline. So I'll trim out the sleeve. Can you see what my dress is looking like? The dress doesn't have any pockets. I did not add pocket. So I will now remove the back one. The back one is the one inside. Now I will go ahead and take my neck line for the front parts. So what I have here now is only the front part of my dress. So remember, I've cut out 1 inch. So now I will now cut out the 3 inches for the neck depth of the front parts. Can you see? So I will also take the neck width, which is 3 by 3 inches. Just watch and see how I'm going to cut out that neck design that you saw. So I'll cut out the 3 by 3 first. So after cutting that, I will now come to that center. I will now measure 1 inch. If you don't want your own to be as wide as my own, you can measure 3/4 of an inch. So from that 3 inches, I will now measure another 4.5. I added 4.5, so everything will now be 7.5 inches neck depth. Did you get? So I will now connect that 1 inch to that 7.5, to that 4.5. Sorry, remember everything is 7.5, but from that 3 inches to where the neck distance stop is 7.5. So that's what it is. So the neck depth now is 7.5. So I will now open it. Can you see what it look like? So if you don't want your own to be as wide as my own, that 1 inch I took, you can actually take half an inch, or you can also take 3/4 of an inch. You get it? So the next thing I did was to cut out the facing. So this facing is just for the V part alone. It's for the V part alone. Remember, this dress has a kuso collar. You get? So that's, you see where my finger is? That's the V part, is the only place I'm going to stitch. So after stitching on the facing, I will now top stitch on the facing too. So I'll go ahead and do that. The back part doesn't have any facing because the dress is a kuso neck. Can you see? I've done turning it, only the V parts. Remember, that V part is the 4.5 inches plus the 3 inches neck depth. Can you see? So I did not cut it. So what you do now is to stitch this part together. Stitch it with the main neck. So the next thing I will do is to join the shoulder, the front and the back. I will join the shoulders together. So after joining the shoulders together, the next thing I will do is to go ahead and cut my collar for this dress. So remember to take measurements of your round neck before you cut out the collar. So this is what my collar look like. So the white, this thing you're seeing is the paper gum, collar gum, sorry. So that's what if you want to buy, when you go to the market, tell them to give you collar gum. So I cut it in a C form. Can you see how it is? So you now iron it to the main fabric. Iron it on the wrong side. So when you iron it, see what I'm doing? You will now fold the material on it and stitch them together. Just watch. Can you see? You now fold it in. Remember to iron it so that it will not move. Iron it so that it will stick to the fabric. So I'll go ahead and stitch it. I'm stitching it with, what's it called? With 3/4 of, what's it now? With 1/4 of an inch. That's what I'm stitching. You know those two lines on the tape. So that's what I'm stitching it with. Just watch what I'm gonna do. It's a very lovely dress and very simple to make. I think the work is more on the collar. So just watch how I'm going to get this collar done. So I will now trim out the excess. So can you see that? See the parts I stitch. So I will now pick it up, then place it on another fabric. So right now, just watch my finger. You will see the part you will stitch. You see, you now stitch it. Yes. So after stitching, you still need to cut out the excesses. Can you see the part I stitched? You can see that thin line there. Can you see that? So cut out all the excesses, the parts you don't need, then notch on that place that you stitch so that it will be easier for you to turn. Just keep watching. Please guys, remember to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new here, share this video so that others will see it. Thank you so very much. You see, I'm trying to turn it. So after turning it, the next thing I'm going to do is to give it a good press. Did you see how I turn it? And remember to top stitch. Don't top stitch on the part where I placed the collar gum. That's not the part you are supposed to top stitch. Top stitch on the material, the new fabric where you placed it. Can you see that? Can you see what my collar is looking like? This outfit is so beautiful. The way you saw it on that model. Can you see? So make sure that the length of your collar is the same thing with your round neck. Make sure they are the same thing. So that's why you need to measure the neck, the round neck of your dress before you cut out your collar. You use the same measurement so that one will not be longer than one. So I'll go ahead and trim out all the excesses. Can you see what I'm doing? Can you see that? So this is my collar. This is a cushion neck or bishop neck, whichever one you want to call it. So I'll now go ahead and pick my dress. I'll pick my kaftan dress. So before I join it, I have to notch the midpoint. See how I'm folding it? So you notch the midpoint of your collar. Can you see? You fold it into two, then notch the midpoint. You do the same thing to the main dress. You have to identify the midpoint, the back, the center back. Can you see where my hand is? There you notch it because that is where you're going to start your sewing from. So you now pick the collar. You are stitching from inside. You are stitching from the wrong side. Can you see? So you start your stitching from the center back. Then you stitch from center to the front, then from the other center to the other front. Remember, you are stitching from inside. Can you see? It's very simple. So you now go and stitch from center to the front, then from the other center to the front, so that if you don't stitch it there, you drag it, it might be longer. So make sure you trace it, making sure that everything is equal. Can you see? I'm done stitching it. Can you see it? Can you see what my collar? Beautiful. This is very accurate. Can you see that? So I will now go ahead and close it. Go ahead and close it. Make sure you arrange it very well so that there will not be any extra. So I'll go ahead and close it. The closing I'm talking about is stitching on top. You get what I'm saying? You stitch it on top. Make sure that you push the sewing allowance inside very well. You now stitch it round. Can you see? I'm done doing that. Can you see how beautiful and smooth it is? So make sure you iron anytime you're sewing. I always say this. Make sure you iron every stitch that you make. So I will now go ahead and fold the sleeve. I folded it twice and I stitched it twice too. Can you see? So the next thing I will now do is to close the armhole. From the armhole, I will take it down. Just watch. I'll close it from that sleeve part. Just watch where my finger is, where my hand is. Yes, I will now close it. I will run a stretch stitch to the down part. Can you see? So that's all. This dress is very beautiful and very fast to sew. Can you see? So I put my designs. This is so lovely. Please guys, remember to share this video with others. Please share this video, give this video a thumbs up, and please remember to notch the armhole side so that the dress will last very well. Thank you so very much guys, and this is it. This is what our kaftan dress look like. Thank you so very much guys. Bye for now and have fun. Make sure you replicate this outfit because it's so lovely. Bye.